Que nanas capten que se manito Oche amane pe matsoen Hey ya ho Que nanas comte nanochi
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to Hailey Rose Podcast, episode 8. I would like to say happy Earth Day to everyone today. Holy smokes. I actually got to wear my ribbon skirt today, so I'm pretty excited about that. Holy smokes. But I have been observing my week and like going out throughout my days, watching what I'm doing, watching every step I take, every move I make, and just really observing my surroundings and what's been going on lately. And the full moon is coming up, hey? And I know a lot of people are getting anxious. I know a lot of people are feeling a little off. I know a lot of people are doing exams right now. A lot of people are doing tests, and everyone's feeling a little frustrated. And for me, this past weekend, man, I was so flustered. I was like so angry and annoyed and upset. And I couldn't wait to come home and be here and be brought back to my family. But I was watching everything that was going on around me, and I noticed that I wasn't the only one who was feeling, a little annoyed, a little frustrated with work and school. And I was learning that I had to balance what was going on in my life. I had to balance, work. I had to balance school. I had to balance, family and friends and being able to communicate with everyone. And for a bit there, it got tough. I started to not dedicate my time to school. I wasn't doing as much work as I was supposed to be doing. I wasn't checking up on my friends as much. And I was like, you know what? Like, they're not checking up on me either. Like, there's something going on. And, I connected with my family and my friends, and we were all feeling that kind of like off. We were all feeling a little unbalanced. And, I was hanging out with my friends and we're talking, and myself, I've been on like this spiritual journey. I know it sounds crazy. It might sound a little phony, but I've been trying to connect myself back to my identity, to who I am as an Indigenous person. And I've been trying to learn more, traditional ceremony stuff, and I'm learning music, and I'm trying to learn my language. But energy-wise, I'm picking up crystals, I'm picking up herbs, and, spending time in nature and going for a walk. Yesterday, I'm home alone all the time now, so yesterday I went for a walk and I was like, it's a beautiful day. Like, it is a beautiful day and I'm stuck in my house. Like, what am I doing, right? Like, it's so nice out. I think it was like plus 20 and I was like, I'm going to go for a walk. So I like put on my shoes and I went for a nice walk and I was like, man, like, it's nice. Like, I like this. And it felt good because I spend lots of my time in my house because I'm constantly working, I'm constantly doing things, and I forget that I need to spend time in nature. And like lately, I've been going through transitions in my life, right? Everything's changing around me. And for the most part, a lot of people don't know how to deal with change. And so it gets a little bit frustrating, right? Because you're so used to everything being normal, everything you know what your days are going to look like, you know what tomorrow's going to look like, and it's like repeating every single day. And lately, it's been like a crazy transition. Everything around me is changing lately, and I really thought about it. I was thinking to myself, I know a lot of people in their lives are going through transitions right now with COVID, with school, with family, whatever it may be. And I was like, you know what? I think change scares me. Like, I genuinely think that I am fearful of change. And the only thing that is constant is life. That consistently changes is change. And it's constantly, because we really don't know what's going to happen next. We don't. And as people, we fear that. We fear because we're so used to the way things are. We don't know what's going to happen. And in a way, it makes you feel powerless. It makes you feel hopeless. And honestly, like it's, I don't know how to explain it. It's just crazy, like how things can change so quickly. And then you find that you're transitioning yourself into a different life. And I know a lot of people right now are going through obstacles, are going through hardships, are facing battles, going through their own battles. And, you know, when you want to be successful and you want to succeed and you want your dreams and your goals to happen, you can't fear change. And as I was going throughout my week, like this week, last week, you know, everything was coming up, random opportunities were coming my way. And I was like, what do I do? Like, this is not normal. Like, this is, you know, something different. And, you know, when something different comes along our way, we don't know how to react. And so I felt powerless. I was like, I'm not used to this. I don't know if I like this. Like, what do I do? And I started to realize that I already had my ways of dealing with change. And I know for everyone, it's different. It's different how, you know, when something changes in our life, we all deal with it differently. But I realized that I had to be flexible. I had to be flexible throughout my days. And I had to embrace it. I had to be okay that, you know, things around me were going to change. Myself, I was going to change. Everything from my past was going to change. And I know that, you know, in other people's lives, sometimes they struggle with the word change. You know, for me, it's always been something that, you know, is a constant in my life. For me, like when I look back, I never would have thought that I would be in the position that I'm in today. And so I had to realize that everything that happens in our lives is for a reason. Whether we like it, whether we hate it, it's going to happen. Because once I realized that, you know, like things were going to come my way, people were going to cross my path, whether it was a relationship, whether it was I was moving, whether it was school, I was struggling, or maybe it was I was tired and I couldn't get out of bed. I realized that, Hailey, this is happening for a reason. And I kept telling myself that, and I had to accept it, right? I had to be real, and I had to think of it in a positive and bright way. I couldn't bash myself. I couldn't be like, oh my gosh, I'm terrified, because everything around me is like happening so quickly. Every single time we step out of the house, we don't know what's going to happen. Every time we go for a drive, we don't know what to expect. And so I was telling myself, I always tell myself this. I can't even say I have been telling myself this for the past week, but you know, it's definitely helped me realizing that everything that crosses your path throughout your journey, every mistake that you make, every move that you make, every person that you meet, I've met some wonderful, wonderful people who have changed my life for the good, for the bad. And I've always taken a lesson out of it. It could have been a friend, it could have been a boyfriend, it could have been a mother, a father, whatever it was. They had something in my life that was going to change me. And so I have amazing friends. I actually, like, my best friend Susie, she is like my rock. She's helped me so much. She's like impacted me so much, and I love her so much. And I don't know if you guys just heard that. Holy smokes, my computer just rang. But I knew she had a purpose in my life. And I was manifesting, right? I was going through a tough time. I didn't know how to think. I was like, I'm not used to this. Like, I'm not used to this change. And she came into my life at the right time. When I was asking for guidance. I was asking for from the ancestors and from the grandfathers what I needed in my life that would keep me going, that would help me succeed, that would lead me to my dreams and all my goals. And this lovely lady like popped up out of nowhere, and I found that, you know, I made friends from her too. I had like how many friends just by meeting this one lady, and I realized that it gave me like another purpose. And Hailey, oh my gosh, I'm so bad for sounding phony, but you know, like when somebody crosses your path, I always believe that it was for a reason, right? I don't have a dream about somebody and then I see them later and be like, no, like that's not for a reason. Like I just had a dream about you the other day, like something, I need to know who you are. Like, who are you? And you know, I was talking with my buddy today, and I was getting mad because I was like, I need to study, like I need to do my work. And I realized that I needed to just like breathe and like focus on myself. And doing this podcast, right? It makes me so happy. It allows me to express my feelings. It allows me to speak with other people, allows me to conversate with other people, connect and grow connections and relationships with a lot of people across Canada. Hi, Spring. Hey, Paris. Hey, Taylor. Hey, Brian. I don't know if I'm too close to this. I always feel like I am. So if I'm not, you guys tell me. But I wanted to also have a conversation with you guys as well. I'm sorry I just like went off track there, but this conversation that we're having about change, and that's what I wanted to talk about today is change. I was thinking to talk about, you know, transitions, but when you think of change, after that comes transitions, because the way that you're focusing or the way that you're dealing with whatever it is, you're transitioning that from the change already that's been made. Oh, that sounded good. Holy smokes, just kidding. But I want to know what you guys do. I want to know how you react to change. Do you feel powerless? Do you get upset? Do you have fear in your heart? Do you get angry? Do you feel hopeless? Do you feel like you're not in control? And I always like to be in control. I always do. And a lot of people will know that around me. I like to say that I am in control of everything I do, everything that I say, with everyone that I meet, with everything that I do in my days. I like to say that I have control, even though I may actually not. But I've learned that I had to face my fears, right? And when we think of our fears, maybe it's like when you're young and you go to a brand new school and you're like, oh my gosh, I got to meet brand new people. Like it gets intimidating, right? Or you're an adult like me, I'm 18 years old, and you start to realize that you're growing up, like you're not a kid anymore. And, you know, you have to pay for your own bills. You have to work so that you can live. And I know that a lot of people are facing these transitions right now, a lot of changes, right? You're losing jobs left and right. Maybe you're struggling with school, online school. Maybe somebody left your life. Maybe a significant other left your life, whatever it is. I had to be able to face that fear. I couldn't run away from it. I couldn't, you know, just take off from it and say, bye, see you later. I had to realize that what was changing in my life, I had to acknowledge it. I had to accept it and see why that happened. I had to look at it in a whole different perspective. I had to say, if this is happening, then that's okay. And it's okay that it's happening because it gave me a purpose in my life. And everything that comes across your life happens for a reason. And you're going to notice I'm going to say that a lot here. Hey, Donovan. But I had to be able to face those fears that I have. And I know a lot of people have their own fears, right? Everybody's different in their own way. Everyone has their fears of their own. But what really helped me was grabbing a piece of paper or just grabbing a journal and writing down all those fears that I had and looking at it from a different perspective, instead of it being in your mind all time and getting those thoughts and making your mind think a lot about these things that may not even be true, these things that may not even be happening, these things that maybe possibly are happening in your life. I had to look at it objectively. And when I say objectively, instead of thinking about it in my head all the time and running these thoughts, I had to write it down and actually read it out. And I do this lots. I do it, and I do it at the most random times. And sometimes I do it on my phone. And a lot of people, oh, I don't got the time for that. There is time. There is so much time throughout your day to just acknowledge all the things that could be changing in your life. And if it scares you, write it down and actually acknowledge it and think about it and say, what is going to happen next? What can I do about this? Why did that happen? Why am I experiencing this? Why am I feeling this way? You have to accept that it's happening for a reason and that it came and crossed your path for a purpose. Oh, that was a good one. That was a good one. You guys be sure to conversate with me here. I want to have a conversation. I want to know how you deal with change, what you do for yourself, because I'm 18 years old. I want to know what adults do when they're experiencing change, when they're going through transitions, because when I grow older, I want to have that knowledge. I want to gain knowledge from somebody that's older than me, maybe somebody that's even younger than me, so that I can learn, right? And, being on this podcast right now, I always want to give the advice that I have, the things that I do throughout my day, the things that I do for myself. And Jade says, I ask you for help, silly. Aw, hey, Jade. But sorry, I got sidetracked. Jade sometimes gets to me. Just kidding. But I had to learn to control myself, not the world. The world crashes on us sometimes. Sometimes it'll get real dark. You're looking at it and it wants to be real sunny, but it still feels dark. But focus on what you control. Focus on what you have in front of you. Focus on what you have around you. You have so many people around you that are willing to guide you. So many people who want the positive in your life. So many people who may be a blessing. So many people who are a gift to you. And sometimes I don't take that for granted, because these people, they genuinely are supporting you. They're guiding you. Maybe they're giving you that advice that you need to hear. And sometimes it can be hard, right? It can be hard to take that advice from somebody else, because it's not the way you roll. It's not the way you roll the dice. But I had to realize that I can control my attitude. I can control my behavior. I can control every single one of my actions that I make throughout my days. And I'm always trying to be positive, hey? I can't be serious for long. I don't know if any of you guys have noticed that. I can't stay serious for long. You could get mad at me or yell, and I'll just be like, oh. And then I'll look the other way and start wanting to laugh, But when I look at change, and I think of change, right? Because that's what I want to do. That's what I want to do for the rest of my life. I want to create the better for Canada. I want to create this change, right? I want to see Indigenous people succeed. I want to see every single background and culture shine. I want to see us reconcile and be strong. And for the longest time, that word did scare me. It did fear me. And it still does to this day. It could be a little knick-knack. It could be a little bump on the road, whatever it is. It does scare me to this day. And that's normal. It's normal to be scared of transitions that are happening in your life, but to accept that, it's there and it's happening for a reason. We go through so many different things, so many good. It could be good things. It could be bad things. I'm making it sound like these are bad things that are happening in my life. These are good things. These are good things that we want to see happen here. But so many positive outcomes come out of something that we don't think we want to see happen, something that we do that make us feel, maybe holy smokes, might make us feel uncomfortable. And, like I was saying earlier, I'm always asking for guidance. I'm always asking for support. I'm always asking for answers, right? Because I can't always do it by myself. And as people, we can't, because if we're the only ones generating our ideas and our thoughts to go throughout our days, tomorrow, whatever it is, our future, we're not getting that knowledge. We're not hearing that voice of other people around us who could probably or possibly give us the best motivation and inspiration for our next move. And so I'm praying, right? I'm praying and I'm blessing myself, and I'm asking my ancestors for these answers, right? I'm asking, what do I do? What does this mean, right? What does this mean? Is this a bad thing? Like, am I doing the right thing? Is this supposed to be happening, Hailey? And I know when I get an answer or when something pops up, like I said, my best friend that I made, right? That was something that I needed. That was something that it made me good and feel good, made me see things so much more lightly, made me see that what I was doing, I could positively change it. And I could change it so that I wasn't staying stuck, or I wasn't stuck in that position that I was in. And when I met her, man, she directed me in the way that I wanted to go. I didn't want to go left. I wanted to go right. And I was like, she is leading me to the place that I want to be. And having that person that you can pick up together, having that person that you can grow with as individuals, it's powerful. And when she came my way, I was like, this is something that I had been looking for. This is something that I was searching for. This is something that I was manifesting, right? I wanted something to come into my life that would help me get to my goal, that would help me succeed, something that would encourage me, something that would motivate me. And it really did. And even though I feared, to have another person who could know me like that, somebody so intelligent and beautiful, somebody so strong, it was scary to understand that I was giving my heart, or I was letting somebody know about my personal life, or about my story, or about whatever it was that was going on in my life. It was scary to be able to trust somebody like that. But it was something that I was looking for. And I said to myself, I was like, you know what? Everything happens for a reason. Holy smokes. But it directed me. And, we bounce off each other all the time. We're constantly talking, having conversations that are honestly not really talked about, right? And I'm learning myself as I go, and as I get to know her, as I get to know the rest of my friends that are around me, as life keeps changing. Oh, you guys need to comment down here and tell me what you're doing, and give me some sort of advice here. I know I have some good ones, but I want to hear from you guys. I like to conversate. Hey, I like to have conversations with other people. When you podcast, you're in the room alone. You're in the room. Nobody else is here. And I'm such a talkative person. I like to usually have face-to-face conversations. Hey, I like to see people's reactions. I like to see people's body movements. I like to see eye contact and have that clarity and that feeling of like, are they in it? Do they like this? Or Are they lying? Can I trust them? But holy, I just really dig deep in that. Oh. But I have one last one. I had 5 for you guys. I had 5 ways that you could deal with change. And only being 18, right? I have so much to experience in my world. I'm still young. I'm still, I still have a long life to live. And, a couple of months ago, I was talking to an elder, and she was talking about intuition and ego and how there's a difference. And I was like, I feel like I listen to my ego a lot. And I hear people say, trust your ego. And I'm like, yeah, I'll trust my ego. But I didn't actually know what it meant. I just thought, when it feels like I shouldn't do that, or when I feel like I should do that, then I'll do it. And I never really understood, right? I never really understood the difference between intuition and ego. And there's probably people out there who don't either. But ego is always negative. It's like, well, what if I fail? Or what did I do wrong? Or why did that happen? Or why couldn't I have done that any better? And that's your ego, right? Your ego always wants to be negative. Us as humans, we have 80,000 negative thoughts throughout our days. And it all comes from the mind, right? We're constantly thinking. And when I was thinking about that, I was like, I was listening to my ego, like what was going on in my head, like what was going on in here that was telling me to do it or telling me not to do it. That was my ego. And I was like, well, what does intuition mean? Like, what does intuition, is it opposite? And she's like, yes, intuition is what you feel in your soul. When you get that bad gut feeling and you're like, I don't have a good feeling about that. Or you walk into a concert or something and you're like, yeah, this is where it's at. Like, I'm ready to sing my heart out. I'm ready to dance. That's your intuition telling you, like, yes, it's the right thing. And your intuition always wants to be positive. It always wants you to do the right thing. So instead of your ego saying, what if I fail? Your intuition is telling you, what if you succeed? What if you do it? What if that person came to your life for the good? What if that person left your life? What if you let go of that person for the right reason? Maybe it was conversations behind closed doors, or maybe you quit a job because people were being racist, or maybe you quit a job because you couldn't dedicate your time or you couldn't focus on yourself. And I understood that. I was like, that makes a lot of sense, because I know, and I'm such an empathetic person, hey? I'm like constantly thinking to myself, like, is this the right thing to do? Or is this a bad thing? What's going to happen in like 5 years if I continue to do this? Or, if I go to school and I'm going to university, what's going to happen if I move away 10 hours away or 5 hours away from my family? And I was listening to that elder speak, and she said, you know what? If you feel it in here and you feel it and you have that gut feeling, like, yes, you should do it. Yes, you shouldn't do it. You should listen. And I was like, that's so, so true. I'm going to pull up this comment right here. Ego is the external validation, thinking that solutions are outside ourselves, feeling that you need people's praises. It's image and self-preservation. Ego is self-image. Yes. Ego is actually things that you put into your head, hey? It's like, and things that other people can put into your head. Oh my gosh. Yeah. But I definitely, I look back, and I know I put myself in some uncomfortable positions many times in our lives, right? We put ourselves in positions that we realize we get there and we're like, maybe I shouldn't have done this, or why did I do that? And that feeling That feeling you have when you realize it too, you're thinking to yourself, why did I do this? Like all of a sudden, no worries. Like, I want to get out of here. Take me home. Take me home. Oh, I got a metal straw today too. Forgot to have that in there. But yeah, it's crazy. But right now in my life, guys, I'm constantly going through change. And lately I've noticed it and I've been observing it too, not lightly, real heavily. And in the most positive way, and not in a bad way, in a really, really good way. Like, I'm so happy, I'm so refreshed, and I'm glad that I listened to my intuition. I'm glad that I faced those fears that I had for my whole life. I'm glad I picked up that advice from all my friends. I'm glad that I listened to my surroundings. I'm glad that I asked those questions from the creator, from the ancestors. I'm glad that I had done that. And so I'm living. I'm still here. And Omaha play. Have you ever heard of inner child work? You know what? I've heard of that word, but I actually don't know what it means. You should comment what it means, and I'll get back to that. That sounds really cool. I want to learn about that. But yeah, guys, I'm thinking right now here, and I'm like, I'm getting hungry. My intuition is telling me that I'm hungry. Holy. But change is consistent, guys. Change is constant all the time. Every single day, you never know what to expect. Somebody's going to come into your life. Somebody's going to walk out of your life, and accept it. Be okay with it. Be okay that everything happens for a reason. Whether you like it or not, it's going to happen. It's going to change, but that's normal and that's okay. So I'm going to pull this up. Example can be, I will feel happy if I go to Mexico, or I will feel fulfilled if I buy a nice car, or I will look good if I wear the expensive name brand stuff, or I feel pretty if I wear a low-cut shirt. These are just examples of what is ego, the external driving us. Self-love comes from inside, not from others' opinions of us. Understand? Yeah, I understand here. Thank you, guys. Thank you. See, and we all have different perceptions to our surroundings, right? We all have different meanings, and we all were taught and learned differently, right? The way I see it is going to be different, right? A lot of people are going to fear change. I still fear change to this day. And just doing those things the way that I know I could, learning those techniques, saying, this is how you can deal with it, Hailey. Be okay with it. Don't resist it. Be in control. I can be in control of my behavior. I can be in control of my actions and what I say, what I do for people, right? And I'm constantly wanting to do that. I'm constantly thinking, if I do that, how is that going to positively change somebody else's life? If I smile at them, if I give them a compliment, maybe I bring them a coffee, that can change somebody's day, right? It doesn't have to change their whole life. It's just going to change their day. And, in a way that makes me feel good. It makes me feel good knowing that I'm making somebody else's day. It makes me feel good that I know I'm doing something that is taking care of myself too, right? Because if we're constantly taking and not giving back, we're not actually being grateful for what's given to us. Yes, that was it. That was it, guys. Hey, Brooke. Hey, James. Thank you guys for tuning in. But yeah, I want to tell you guys, with COVID too, So many things are going to cross your path. So many things are going to come your way. You're going to face hardships. You're going to go through obstacles. You're going to drive over those bumps and those curbs on the road, but be okay with it and ask around, ask your surroundings. Don't be afraid to reach out. Don't be afraid to ask questions, and trust your intuition, that instinct, that thing inside of you. Trust it and believe in yourself that everything is going to happen the way it's supposed to meant. This way, the way it's meant to be, right? And just having that mindset, always putting good things in your head, and don't get mad at yourself. Don't be angry about something that was already done, or getting mad at yourself, beating yourself up about the past. Don't be stuck in the past. Hey, you just got to keep moving forward and think positive, spread that love, spread that joy, be thankful. It's Happy Earth Day. We got to be happy today. And, I actually felt like I needed to have this conversation. I feel like something's like coming off my chest now, and that's a good feeling. That's a good feeling that I'm having that right now, because I know that was meant to come out, Hailey. Like, you needed to say it, and somebody else here may have needed to hear that. So, I just want to say thank you guys for watching. If you guys have any other questions, I'm here to listen and answer. I'm here to reply. So if you have any questions, I'm here to elaborate on them. But it's almost the weekend, guys. Tomorrow's Friday. Hailey Rose has to write a test, has to ace that thing, and it's the weekend this weekend. And I was having a discussion with this person the other day, and I was realizing that a lot of people are afraid of the truth. A lot of people are afraid to have discussions that are hard to talk about, right? And I was like, yeah. Like, that's so true. A lot of people don't dig deeper, right? These things that are going on in our head, we're constantly just keeping them in our head, and we're not actually releasing them. We're not actually conversating and talking it out, expressing our feelings, expressing our emotions. And me doing this with you guys, me talking about change and telling you guys how to deal with it. It's like I let something off my chest. Hey, it's like I know somebody needed to hear this today. I know somebody needed to have maybe some advice. Maybe somebody needed to feel wholesome. Maybe somebody needed to help somebody else, to guide somebody else, to support one another. And I'm always I'm brought back to home, and I remember what I'm in control of. Everything that's around me, I know I can control it. I know I can not do that. I know I can do that. Yeah. Have you ever thought of being a counselor? You know what? I've never thought about being a counselor, but for many years, I've been learning how I can support one another, how I can support my family, how I can guide my friends and bounce off of each other. And that's what I like to do, right? I like to do that because when I help other people, it helps me. It helps me. And I've always had this dream to be a lawyer, hey? And like, that's what I want to do for the rest of my life. I want to, go to school, and I want to bring that justice. I want to see our Indigenous people have the justice that we deserve. And I've always been attracted to it. But I like to get political too, with my work and stuff. That's what I do, right? I travel and I go to conferences and meetings, and I like to talk. I really like to talk. When I was really young, like probably 12, 13, 14, I was really shy. I had anxiety, whatever it was. I think my nose is pixelating. Anyways, but that's something that I do. I haven't actually thought about being a counselor. I want to go into politics. I want to be a minister. This is sketching me out. I don't like it. But I actually haven't thought about being a counselor. I am somebody that advocates for mental health. Holy smokes, that's the sun, guys. That's the sun. I think we have to end it off here. Because the shadow's getting to me. Happy Earth Day. We got to watch the sunsets, the beautiful sunsets over here. I think we have to call it quits there because something's wrong with my face. Smokes. Yeah. We're gonna band counselor, he says, you know what? Not a counselor, a chief. Chief of Canada? What do you guys think about that? Chief of Canada, minister. You know, to be a minister would be really cool to bring diversity into those systems. Something I'm really thinking about. But I'm going to have to let you guys go. You know, thank you for joining me today. This is really frustrating me. I think that's my time. That's my cue to hang up. But I want to thank you guys for joining me today. You know, be sure to tune into all the other podcasts that are coming up. Another podcast on Saturday, I believe Shaylin Fox. You guys got to watch Foxing Around and all those amazing other podcasts out there. Yeah, I love it. Podcasting is the way to go, guys. And I just want to say thank you. And I also want you guys to also stay connected. I want you guys to, you know, feel free to message me whenever you need some answers. Maybe you need some guidance. Maybe you need some advice, whatever it is that you may need. Feel free to reach out to me and, you know, I'll always reply back and have that conversation, even if it's, you know, uncomfortable to talk about, even if you feel that you can't. Somebody's laughing on here because they know what's going on with my face. And yeah, so you guys, you know, don't be afraid of change. It's consistent. It's always happening all around us. And it's whether we like it or not, those things are going to cross our paths for a reason. People are going to walk out of our lives. People are going to come into our lives. People are going to, you know, either impact your life in a positive or a negative way. And I'm only 18 years old and I have a lot to learn, but I thank you guys so much for watching and, you know, enjoy your night. It's only 7 p.m. Go for a walk, go watch that sunset tonight and spread some love, spread some joy. So with that, guys, be sure to tune in to Hailey Rose Podcast next Thursday at 7 p.m. every single week. With that,